to the trading couch. This is going to be a follow-on pretty much from the last episode where we said that we'd sort of have a conversation about the topic we nearly ended up on in the last episode. So, I mean, to round it off, it's pretty much just COVID-19, mental health, coming out of that, recovering, the impacts on our mental health. I think this is quite a nice topic for us to cover because
Absolutely,
it's something everybody went through.
Yeah.
So
it's
going to be very personal and, as you say, everyone can resonate with it.
Before we do jump into this, what we're going to do is pop up those comments for those who did type COVID-19.
Do we have?
I know, yeah, we'll see. And then, stay tuned till the end of the video because we'll give you another word that you can type in on the comments.
And maybe one of these times we'll do a little giveaway for people who do it. So
I think it's only fair, isn't it?
It's tough because I've never actually sat and thought about this, so there's going to be many impacts and implications that I haven't thought of, but I'm hoping that us just waffling about it,
I think
things
it'll
will
just
come
flow.
to mind.
I mean, for me, it was definitely weird. I literally remember the day that it was said that we were going into lockdown. I had literally just come back from. I'd been travelling a little bit. I had just come back, and I was in Manchester for a few nights. I was seeing someone in Manchester. And I literally remember the day, it was like an announcement, wasn't it? It was like, right, as of tomorrow or whatever it was. I think it was like the following day, we need to be locked down in houses. All the trains were rammed and people the trains weren't running properly. I remember a lot of things were cancelled. So the person I was with at the time, they had to drive me all the way back from Manchester to the lakes.
Makes sense. Yeah. Otherwise, you would have been stuck there.
I would have been stuck there, yeah. So that was an absolute nightmare. But yeah, that whole thing was very weird. I remember walking around in the streets and we were kind of everyone was looking at each other as if to be have you got COVID-19? You know what I mean? It was a very mate, it was a weird time, mate.
I really need to jog my memory. My memory was stuff like this. I don't even remember when we went into it. What was the original?
It was March time.
Yeah, so that would have been my last year of sixth form. Coming up to exams. Yeah, okay, well, first thing, huge relief. Didn't have to sit my exams. Got gifted grades, didn't I? Because of COVID. So first things first, that was a relief because I was 100% going to fail.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Sixth form was a whole process. I mean, there's many stories that go into that entire thing, which we don't need to dive into right now, but
oh yeah.
I'm very lucky to have been gifted them, and quite generously as well. So that was a relief in the first place. What else? I think I loved it at first. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of enjoyed it as well. It was more the fact that we could just sit at home and we had an excuse to sit at home and do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a case of doing nothing. It was just.
Well, to be fair, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a case of because I feel guilty on a day like today where it's sunny, where I've not gone out and got fresh air, you know what I mean? Because I've been sat at home doing work. But when it was like that, it was oh, well, the government are telling me to sit in, so...
right, so that...
It was kind of
that pressure for you as well. Now, for me, it was I was sort of within a period in my life where I'd grinding school every day, balancing work, school, gym, homework, everything. I never really got much time to myself. So for me, that was this is a well-needed break.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to spend a few months doing nothing and just chilling. So that was a good relief for me. And then it also got me into... I don't know, confirm the dates. I don't know. I think it was the year after the lockdown started that I proper got into.
Yeah. So it was later on in the year, it was.
No,
to be fair, around October. No, because we started going to the social. I've literally got a video. I'll put it up on screen as well of you in the social.
Really?
Yeah,
mad.
and you look so different as well.
It's mad, isn't it?
You look so different, so I'll throw that up on screen. That'll be funny. But yeah, that was around the first time that I met you. So we could kind of go out around then, couldn't we? For it kind of things had
Yeah.
eased because we went through the summer. So it
Yeah,
started
no,
in
this makes
March.
sense,
Went
yeah.
through the summer. We could kind of do things in the
'Cause
summer.
there was a period on October where you
Mm.
could go to the gym for a month.
Yeah.
And then December there was a
And then we
period
went
where you
into
could go
full lockdown again, didn't we? Like December-ish time.
for about 3-4 months.
Yeah, and then January of that next year was when me and you were like, right, let's smash it, let's grind things out. You know what I mean? Let's go for it.
Yeah, so
So
I
it's
spent
been
like
a long time.
so I
mate.
spent like October, November time just in your like VIP chat, following your analysis, and like we'd get in the odd few calls, and then December's when things ramped up a bit and we're getting more calls, and you introduced me to Gaz, Jamie, and we were doing stuff with them, and obviously New Year was
That was
when
like the new
everything-
beginning, basically. For
and it's
you.
mad. It's been 18 months
Since then. It's
since
crazy.
then, over 18 months, I think.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's mad, isn't it? How
I still
how
remember
fast time's gone though. Isn't it
waking
weird?
up, yeah, I remember waking up to an Instagram group that you had created, and it was me, you, Gaz, Jamie,
Yeah.
and it was like some like cute little message you'd sent through, like, I want you all to help me out with this.
Yeah.
You sort of assigned us all roles. Holy shit, mate.
It's
That's mad.
crazy.
When we're getting
isn't
in
it?
our weekly Sunday calls. I was looking back not long ago at some of the analysis I was throwing out, and oh my god, it was shocking, mate. It's mad.
I mean,
to see how
it wasn't a
far.
case of it. I mean, obviously, it wasn't like the best and stuff, but I think it was
It's
like
just a natural part of the
yeah.
journey.
And
like.
what you were doing back then was very different to what you were doing now.
Mm.
Anyway, for me, I think I would say the first 6 months, so from March through to the end of summer, let's say, it was overwhelming, but it was kind of durable. It was it was
Yeah.
all right. I still went out here and there in the summer, but obviously I've got family members who are classed as vulnerable, so I had to be careful on what I was doing, and who I was seeing and stuff like that. So it was difficult in that aspect. I've gone from being very extroverted to being quite introverted, not seeing
I'd say
people.
you're still not even back to the person you were,
No.
but I think it's because you don't fully want to be. Like, you've changed so much.
I think
developed
COVID
so
has
much as a
changed me
character.
positively to an extent. But yeah, absolutely, I've definitely changed from how I was, mate. Like bloody hell, you look at me on television in 2019 to how I am now. It's
You brought it up.
completely different loops.
That
You know
was
what I mean?
2019.
Hey, look at this though. Literally, mate.
Look what we found.
Look what we just found.
Oh, hey, listen, that's a perfect selfie. What do you That's mean? what I'm just saying. So that technically should count as a
reckon?
selfie. Because it never said it had to be alive.
We're having a good day doing what we want, going where we want, mate. We're not gonna get this very often. You know what I mean?
Ah, fuck. Man banged his head.
Mad.
That's what I'm saying. And then the
Yeah.
end of that year was when COVID started. Honestly,
Oh my
mate,
god.
it's crazy.
That's insane how much you've developed through lockdown. Because I remember watching it. It wasn't even that long ago when I watched it. Maybe 6 months ago, max. And I noticed like how different you were as a person there. Like, you had a lot of self-development to do from the person you were. Is all I'm gonna say.
I was very ego-driven, I think, back then. Like I was just so.
And even like some of the like altercations you'd get into, it's like you were very stubborn and ego-driven. Which it's not that it's bad having those traits. It's just that like
sometimes
you were quite petty and childish with some of the situations.
Yeah, no, I was definitely. I think sometimes you've just, obviously now, being in this industry and speaking to the people that we speak to on a regular basis that are extremely professional and, they don't deal with that kind of nonsense. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
Psychology. That is one thing I think we can both say we took away from, and I don't think it was lockdown. I think it was the things we did inside of lockdown and what lockdown forced us to be like. But we've definitely both grown massively and changed as characters since then.
100%,
Hugely.
100%.
I mean, as you said, if you did throw that video or picture up of
you,
me
yeah, like
years ago, even
you
just
were, like,
physically, just changed.
Yeah, like the progression that we've made whilst in a pandemic is.
But then again, our progression rate was insane during that because it was a case of like we didn't have any other distractions, nothing else to do other than to just, for me, just learn and work.
sit at the markets, trade, make content. Yeah, it was literally just a grind. Like a lot of people, like you said, I think my first 6 months was pretty much kind of a slack. I kind of just like chilled out, did nothing, lounged about, and then since that point, it was like, right, the grind is on.
You
know what I
grinded
mean?
out when it was like around about when we all got together, so Jan 2021. You grinded out the whole beginner's course in like a few weeks. It was insane. I remember that. You like grinded out
I think
that
it was like
beginner's
5 weeks or
course and,
something. Done, boxed.
it was mad.
And that's like that concludes of like 7 PDFs or something.
Yeah, that's insane.
Thousands of words, pages.
It was just a case of we'd get into a Zoom call, me, you, Gaz, sometimes Jamie as well, and we'd sort of just come together and say, this is what we've done this week, this is what we're aiming to do for the end of next week. It was quite a nice schedule that just worked. It was...
Yeah. Isn't it
quite a
crazy
nice
how
period.
like we're actually like that as people? Yeah, I mean, like we... It's mad. Like even when I look at like our stuff like on a weekly basis, and I'm like, right, this is what we want to do, and this is, what I mean, we make sure that we do this, but like it's become like a weird obsession now for me. It's like if I literally said to you the other night, I think I've done enough work to now chill out. You know what I mean? And I'm talking like it's like 11:30 at night. You know what I mean?
11:30. People were like, right.
I think I've
Just
done enough
finished
work
making
now.
changes. I think I've earned a bit of time on the PS4 now. That was mad.
Literally, I think I can watch a bit of Netflix now and chill out. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, but like that's just how. I don't know why I'm like that, but like that's just how I've become. Like if I don't feel like I've done enough work that day, I've not earned the privilege of even watching television. I just have a big list that I tick off every day. Like I trade or I look at the markets 9 till 1. And then after that, I can chill out a little bit. I do all my LinkedIn things and all that kind of stuff, and then it's a case of making any changes to the website that need to be done, and then it's just about like contacting people. Or like there's always something to do. There's never a day where I'm like, I don't have a call to do today.
Last episode, we sort of said things that we've gained walking away from it. What would you say as an individual? A quick roundup of like what you've gained or what you've lost or how you've changed as a character in the process. Not too much detail, just a nice.
Okay, so in terms
overview.
of personally, like what's changed for me, what have I lost and gained? I would say I've definitely become more introverted as a person. I think I've grown up more. Like I'm more business minded. I think my passions are in check. My priorities are in check 100%. I think it affected me mentally to an extent. Every day is somewhat of a battle. You know what I mean? I think sometimes I'm just like I can't even be bothered leaving the house or whatever. And I think that does stem kind of from the pandemic because I was so used to not speaking to anyone other than like the likes of you and the lads. So it's kind of weird. Like I don't use social media anymore. Really, I don't socialize with
That's
normal
a good point,
people.
'cause you would regularly put stories up, post new pictures and whatnot. You haven't done anything.
I don't do anything like that. I'm very anti-social media now. If I go on social media, it's for work. So I think that's something that the pandemic has changed for me. In terms of the business, I am so glad the pandemic happened because it meant that I could put my time, effort, and money into a business that is now pretty much self-sufficient. You know what I mean? I think we have, between us both, created a business that is self-sufficient and is helping people all across the world. So I'm happy with that. I mean, my business, me.
But mentally, like digging a bit deeper into that and saying, are you in a state in your life where, like, if you reflect on lockdown now, are you spiteful of the fact that it happened, or are you saying, I'm glad that it happened because
I'm glad it happened.
Right.
Yeah. Although it might have impacted me mentally in a negative way to some extent, I'm glad it happened because if anything, it's made me a stronger, better, more efficient person. all round. You know what I mean? Yes, it's probably taken a mental toll, but it's changed so many aspects of who I was and who I am as a person in such a positive way that outweighs the cons of it. You know what I mean? What about yourself? What would you say?
Very similar to what you said. It's like I actually took a lot away from it, so I'm thankful that it happened. As weird as it was, and that was sort of like my time after, you know, finishing education to go, you know, everybody has this thing of, oh, you got to go wild, go travel, all this. So obviously I missed out on that, but I can do that at any point in my life. There's no stress or struggle to do that at a certain age or at a certain period in your life. I think it, as I said at the end of the last episode, it was great for me as an individual to... It's so cringing, like... I do agree with it. Like, I did definitely had a lot of self-reflection and a lot of time in my own head and in my own company.
Yeah.
To A, become satisfied with my own company, but B, find out who I truly am. Because I think the words I was using last episode is like, when you're stuck within like a social construct, like I was in school in sixth form, like coming out of that is so weird. And like the person you are within that construct, like I was very much just... I was never truly myself. I was always trying to fit in and please people, and which I don't blame myself for, because everybody does it. Like everybody's judgmental, or you know, it goes to one friendship group. It just makes school life easier, but it's not great for your character development, because once you get out of school, like the person you are then is just not prepared for the real world. So I think that period of time mentally prepared me for growing up and life, pretty much. Like I detached myself from trying to fit inside of these what's considered like social norms and being the person that I thought I needed to be, rather than just finding out who I actually am, what I want to do in my life, who I want to be. I think what helped was getting into all of this, and not just training itself, but the productivity and having that mindset of wanting to achieve a lot in life, and sort of flipping that, and having something as a man to dedicate your time to and have as a goal, and having motivation to do something was massive. Because when I initially got into it, like my motivation was so high, and I was reading loads of psychology books. So at some point in your life, especially as like a young adult, you have to sit there and evaluate who you are and who you want to be. Like there's a set values and traits you have to decide upon as a man, as a human being. I want to be this person. And I remember sitting and literally having like hours I was just sat there thinking,
like, what type
and
of
decided
person
what kind of person I want to be.
Or who am I going to be as a
and
person?
It's like, beforehand, maybe I wasn't the most respectful or didn't have the most integrity as a person, but I decided that above all, like, for me, respect and integrity is everything. So that is my conclusion on who I wanted to be, and I've definitely changed a lot as a person since then. Especially when I see people I used to be connected with a long time ago, I can tell, and I'm so happy for how I've changed, because I see that they're still connected to those social norms, and they're so afraid to deviate from that, to be judged, whereas like I'm so much more advanced mentally than these people,
or they're too like caught up in it,
and
like that's not us like frowning upon it or anything like that, but like that's just how it is. No, I 100% agree. I was in a very similar situation. Like, you know, I was at a point in my life before the pandemic where I was so ego driven, like we said before, and like,
because that's what you're
like,
surrounded by, people like that, and in a culture where that's
and
normal.
Being popular and being like this person was so important to me that like you said, I couldn't be my true self. I had to mold myself into someone I wasn't, you know what I mean? And like I hated it. Like I would break down and I would actually hate who I was, because it wasn't me, you know what I mean? It wasn't my true self. And yeah, I think the pandemic has definitely taken me away from that, and now I am who I am. You know what I mean? I'm not hiding from anyone. Like, I am who I am. If you don't like me, you don't like me. You know what I mean? And you see people say this, and you're like, oh yeah, you definitely fucking,
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean? You
like,
definitely
yeah,
still, but no, genuinely, like, I don't care. You know what I mean? If I want to post
No,
a
I can
YouTube
back
video,
that,
I'll
yeah.
post a YouTube video. If I want to post a TikTok video, I'll post a TikTok video.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I've got
a fair
nothing.
point, yeah.
I've got nothing to prove to anyone. You know what I mean? I don't need to post Instagram pictures all the time.
Yeah.
I don't need to pretend that I live this lavish life. You know what I mean?
I think like
It doesn't bother me.
yeah, I think that's a huge change we've both made. Is just
Genuinely don't.
But that is literally just getting away from those social norms and caring what people think, because for us it's for a higher purpose, and
yeah.
all of those opinions and structures aren't going to
Really
matter.
don't matter. Yeah. At the
Because-
end of the day, we do this because, one, we enjoy it, but more than anything, it helps other people. You know what I mean? Like the amount of people we've impacted in a positive way from doing these videos and doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? It shows. You know what I mean? Obviously, we
the
grow
feedback
every
we get,
day.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's nice. You know what I mean? But yeah, like it's crazy. As you say, it's crazy how like we have developed in that way.
I think we'll tie this up now. That's been a nice episode.
We
there.
need a little a word.
Microphone. Boom.
Microphone.
Throw
Random,
that in
but
the
I like
comments.
it.
So comment that to be featured in the next episode.
And I
as we
think-
said, a random giveaway
Yeah.
at some point.
I
As well.
think we should just do one the next time. So the next time we come to do a trading culture video, which we will be in different clothing because it will be on a different day. We will announce one person that has commented microphone to be a winner. So what can we give them, or should we leave it? Or should we leave it a
yeah,
mystery?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
leave it a
find out.
mystery. We'll leave it a mystery. But make sure you comment microphone. If you're still here, comment microphone, because you could be within the chance
Yeah.
of winning a prize or a giveaway, something, whatever it is that we decide to do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've actually quite enjoyed this conversation. I think it's been good. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like. All the feedback that you
Share
guys
it.
provide
Share it
is
around.
very much appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next Trading Couch video.